Hi, Amy.
Hello. I'm so thrilled to be joining you here, Sue.
So, yeah, Amy, you're with tell us a little bit who you are and what you're doing and what's exciting in your life today.
All right. Well, I mean, I am sort of I'm bringing with me in this conversation some real enthusiasm around a meeting that I just had with the World Game team. So first, I'll say my name is Amy Davis Bruner, and I am a member of the World Game with Ericson Coaching International. We have been on a quest, everybody, to save our world and bring coaching into that conversation. What coaches are all about is using the process and the structure of how we put ideas together and create action, and to use that structure to accelerate change in the world. And we are looking for individuals, for organization who are ready to really accelerate their movement going forward. So what's so exciting about this is working with people who have different types of expertise and different levels of different kinds of wisdom. The kind of wisdom that comes from um, what it means to already have the development and history of being of already going through large social changes within a lifetime, bringing in the comfort and transformation that, let's say, for example, the Gen Xer holds, that they're able to, they're sort of that do-it-yourself and independent sort of spirit, and bringing in also our millennials and our younger people who have this incredible agility and ability to spread through social media and through technology, things that the Gen Xers would try to muscle through. Our millennials know how to sail through, and our elders know what it means to see that in a larger context and hold the space for that. And I've just shared this idea and what's happening in Florida with the World Game team that just today represented Istanbul, China, Indonesia, United States, Ireland, uh, Eastern Europe. I'm trying to remember everyone on the call. And I shared what's happening in Florida, and what's beginning to really become a vortex of energy around this. And they are incredibly excited. And we also have a request that we need to begin to include some of these. We'd like to get some millennials and some younger voices to be a part of the what we want to make sure to include in the World Game in Istanbul 2019, where we will be discussing, we will be sharing the World Game events regionally that have already happened and are happening, and invited to share that work, the projects that have been developed and moved forward, to share those at the World Game Conference in Istanbul. What we see is that there will be 3 days of workshops where these intergenerational teams have come together and are sharing with the world what they've been able to accomplish, and with their teams. So we're it's pretty exciting to be on track in such a strong way with one another.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I just exchanged emails with Jennison Kip Searcy, who's at the University of Florida. She's the coordinator for the Sustainable Floridians. And what we have there is a group of county extension agents who have been through a training and have given the course called Sustainable Floridians in 8 counties.
Wow.
And so we are working with that network of people, both the agents who work for the University of Florida and the graduates of the course.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, woohoo!
So,
Okay.
so,
So what we really see as a vision is, and Sue, you and I have talked about this. What we see is coming to Florida to each of the 6 locations, really hoping to the University of Florida, Gulf Coast, St. Augustine's. We talked about 3 other universities. And to ensure that we're doing this as students are, have a little bit of time to get, orientated to their semester, their term, and to have World Game Regional Conferences in each of these locations where we're bringing together this incredible list that, Sue, you've been talking about of these, over 150 nonprofit organizations to get to have them, or even to create a project around getting those organized, getting these teams together, student teams together with their wise elder partner and a solution-focused coach who is there specifically to attend to the structure and the process and to accelerate through that process, creating the strong vision, identifying the resources, and then moving it into action. That's what it's about. And then those teams will be assigned a coach that will support them every step of the way to continue moving that structure and that process forward with the best of what we know most about cognitive science and what really does accelerate change and excellence.
woohoo.
So, yeah.
So I wanted to just ask about how far the coaching levels can go. For example, tomorrow, I know we were talking about working with each of the universities.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that we would have one coach per university or one coach per team that evolves, such as from our University of Florida? I can think right now that we would want this Sustainable Floridians to be a team with a coach.
Yep. So basically, the commitment to all of you is that that whatever the demand is, we will figure out how to fill it. So any one coach could work with a number of teams. Because teams will meet at certain times for certain lengths of time. Once a week or whatever. So one coach could work with multiple teams, or we could have different coaches for different teams. Either way, it's about meeting each of these locations at the place that they are. So if there are 10 teams there, or if there are 20, if there's 100 teams there, we have the coaches. We have coaches all over the world. That speak of many different languages, which is also quite wonderful. So what's happening here is a partnership. There are coaches literally in every time zone, in every location that would be able to meet with you. So there's no inner or outer limit to that. It's a matter of the number of teams that are there. That develop, that become inspired, that will become inspired as they watch these teams move forward in an accelerated way. That's where we'll meet you.
Awesome.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, and so going down, for example, we are talking with Compassionate St. Augustine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they do have a college. What we're kind of aiming for now is either university or college and town, right?
Excellent. Yes.
And so elder, youth, college, town.
Yeah. And to make sure that
work with each community as a whole. And in fact, I've started the conversation with the fellow whose former title was Sustainability Coordinator for Alachua County.
Okay.
And so, I'm putting the idea out to people now. We're doing whole communities or whole counties at a time.
Wonderful.
to say
Yes.
that they are a compassionate city. And I'm not sure where I have here. I have them right here. So we have, this is double,
Oh, wow.
but this is the symbol that the Compassion Games used. Well, they use all the time. And in fact, just yesterday started a new 6-month cycle that is going from the summer solstice to the winter solstice, right?
Oh,
So
wonderful.
our culminating activities will be December 21st.
Okay.
And that's when we are playing the giving games.
Oh, wonderful.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And so this particular torch was passed out to every participant at the Parliament of the World's Religions in Salt Lake City. And so the deal is that they at that conference identified someone that was doing something wonderful for a compassionate world, right? And just told each other about it and then took a picture. And so that's what I'm trying to do with people, is just get them to talk with somebody, take a picture. And we have a website called the Compassion Report Map, where you can put all that. And I know your World Game also has a map that perhaps we can adapt for this sustainable world game. And really, you know, yours is now showing where the conferences are, and we can show where all of this is happening through the compassionate cities, right?
Wonderful.
I love it. This is my kind of fun.
Oh, absolutely. So, Sue, I would love to also share this video. I was able to just briefly contact a young woman in Costa Rica with the Earth Charter, and just to say hello. And we're about to meet, and we're
oh, beautiful.
Yeah, and
so
also
the youth coordinator there.
Yes.
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 Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. So, and I'm intrigued. I'm just sort of comparing right now the Earth Charter initiatives and the UN, the 17 initiatives at the UN, and just wanting to the World Games is the Ericson World Game is working with those 17 UN initiatives. What I'm really appreciating about the Earth Charter initiatives is the language that's actually being used there.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that it's language that I can immediately connect to, that I can immediately see myself in. And so I'm going to be bringing that thought over to the World Game, and just share that and see. You know, I have just some interest about that. I'm looking at the UN, I'm looking at the Earth Charter initiatives, and I'm just seeing a much more relatable language through the Earth Charter.
I think her name is Christine, right?
I believe so. Yes,
Yeah.
it was a quick email.
I've only talked with her once and
Okay.
a couple of emails. But what she had, or her former, you know, the girl who had that job before her, developed an app called Mapting. Did she talk to you about that?
I haven't had a chance to talk to her about it, but tell me more.
It's relating the Earth Charter and the 17 goals.
Oh my goodness.
Goals. There you go.
Oh, great.
And so
wow.
This is another program where you look it up on your app. You say, this is the one that I am seeing right in front of me right now, right? You take a picture or a video and you submit it to their website.
Oh my goodness. All right, I'll make sure to ask Christine about that. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Mapting, Mapting.
Mapting.
Okay. And
all right.
Yeah. So yeah, the thing I love about that Earth Charter is it's like you say, it's poetic, you know? It is just so beautifully crafted. And the reason is it took over almost a decade for as many as 5,000 people, or I think it's more, it might have been 5,000 organizations that had their eyes and thoughts on that over that many years in the 90s. And then the thing was launched in the year 2000 after quite a few iterations as just this beautifully stated, I have one of the people will be honoring this Saturday. I'd like to tell you quickly about that. But one of the men is, he's 89, and he sees this Earth Charter as the Magna Carta of the Ecozoic age.
Ooh. Oh, that. Woo!
Yeah.
Oh,
So we are into something so wonderful that
yes.
it is. And well, let me tell you about the group that we have coming to honor this man. His name is John X. Linehan, his wife Martina. They just moved out of the Sustainable Living Center where I live. And we just have new neighbors that came in a couple of weeks ago that are Earthman, Lanny Smith,
yes.
and his
yes.
wife. And so we are getting some energy around this place now. And we're going to be honoring those 4 people, the Linehans and the Smiths. And we have theater coming in, to help people get up and get moving.
Yes.
And then we have narrative therapy. And the fellow who's doing that is working with people who are in crisis in their personal lives. And he's bringing that to the world,
Wow.
And we're starting it with this small group that'll be coming here to honor those 4 people. And this is kind of our first try at doing this process with a group of people, and that he wants to just do this far and wide. He already is doing this far and wide, and wants to devote it to this Earth Charter work. So
fabulous.
I'm so excited.
Fabulous. Well, I would like to, I'm curious, just for the recording, what, if anything, would be helpful to you to have? And then once we have that, then just taking a few minutes to check in with you on some timelines. So tell me where we're at.
Okay, so what I'm doing is talking with Jennison at the Sustainable Floridians tomorrow.
Okay. She
was not able to come today. And I have it's the AARP. You familiar with them?
Yes.
It's the Encore Prize for people who are doing something new in their second half of life. Right?
Yes.
And so that application is due on July 5th. And I'm trying to get from people what it is that their part is and how much it's going to cost, how do we budget it, And so what I need from you is an estimate of what it will cost to have you come and do the kinds of workshops that you're talking about. And
got it.
And a kind of a range of, if we have 10 or 100 teams to work with.
You got it. I will take care of that and send that to you today.
Excellent.
So what I'll do, Sue, is that in terms of, for example, just like the flight to Florida, for example, there's only one flight, and then we can figure out how to get to these locations. So I'll just sort of send a general piece that will be those costs, and then it'll be then per conference, as well as the coaching hours.
Okay.
Each one of those will be broken down, and know that what we're really interested in is we hear of residents, we hear that this is really the kind of structure that has the potential, it has what it needs in terms of structure and process for this to be successful. It's already making that sound, and we look for that. We look for what are the pieces that are gathering together that really are elemental, that need to be there so that a project can move forward in a powerful way. And we hear that here. So know that. And I'm excited. Um, I'm really looking forward to coming to Florida. I'm really looking forward to this multi-generational approach that has been put together. It really creates the conditions for, you know, we can think about human development. We can think about the development of an idea. We can think about that when we think about them, we think about the step-by-step process, and that's important. But what also is critical is that there's actually a spontaneous thing that happens when we get multi-generational projects moving, that when there is a person representing their developmental stage and their wisdom from the age that it comes from, and then that comes together. There's a spontaneous insight that uh, that 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 has everybody meeting at a different level, that is a surprise to everyone, and at the same time has incredible, it breaks out of what we think it has to be into a place that it will be and must be to meet the challenge that we have, right? We really need to make that sort of uh, consciousness shift. And multi-generational groups have that. They can do that in a spontaneous way that is so powerful. So looking forward to that. Yeah. All right. So I'm off. I have my assignments and make sure to get those to you. I'll take care of that today.
Okay.
And then you and I will email one another and for our next call.
Yeah.
So we'll get that going.
We're trying to meet Thursdays at 11 Eastern time.
Okay.
And so, you know, it doesn't always happen, but
okay.
We do the best we can to get people together and talk about this. So
alrighty,
that schedule, and if that works for you, fine. I understand you're going to be on the other side of the world soon.
Yes, so I'll make sure to put that in my calendar. I believe next week I'll be able to make that date. After that, I'm off to Shenzhen for a couple of weeks, and then I'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty. It's so I am carrying your smile in my heart, and I'm just so thrilled that we are seeing but another in person in video here.
Beautiful.
I would love to, if you would share the video with me. I have a couple in Nicaragua who are interested in how they might get involved, and I would love to send them this call so that they can hear it. Alrighty, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.